Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, all you lovely people in the world. Give me a sound check, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me okay, because I did not even realize that it's been quite a long time since I've live streamed any straight pool in my garage. Because the last time I did a live stream in my garage is when Demetrius was here, which was back in October. All right, fantastic. It looks like everybody can hear me okay. Well, like I said, I went back and looked and saw that I think the last time that I streamed any straight pool, let me look at this again. Like this was back in July when the last time I streamed any straight pool, because I've been doing the reviewing my APA matches. I had, the Texas Open practice with my buddy Jaybird, and then of course the trainings that I did with Demetrius, and it's like, holy cow, and I've been playing straight pool, a lot still in my garage, because if you saw my most recent video that I published, I got an 88 as my new record. And there was a time where prior to getting that 88, I actually thought I got an 87, because I was going to post both of them one right after the other. I would post the 87 and then wait a couple of days and then I'd post the 88. But as I was reviewing the 87, I think there was a double hit foul on one of the shots, and I didn't recognize it at the time when I was doing the run. But upon reviewing the video, as I was editing it and putting the cue ball diagram and indicating where I was hitting it on the cue ball, I kept looking at this one particular shot over and over again. And I was like, I think that shot's questionable and would be probably considered a double hit foul. So I just went ahead and left it out and just posted the 88 instead. So that begs the question as to why I titled today's stream the way that I did with playing straight pool tonight, and that is, have I gotten any better? So those that have been with me long enough know that I talk about how, when I got my 79 many months ago, I kept wanting to know whether or not if I got lucky to get that 79, because then a lot of attempts after that was a bunch of failures. I'd be surprised if I can get out of the first rack. And then occasionally I might be able to get a 50 plus. And then there'd be a long streak of not doing anything. And it wasn't until, 9 months after the 79 that I posted the 86. And then at least now I can say that it didn't take me 9 months to go from 86 to 87, even though that includes a foul, but then from 87 to 88. So maybe we can argue that I've gotten better because it's taking me less time to finally, get a new personal best. But then I still look at statistics to know whether or not if I've really gotten any better. And then, of course, I'm going to let y'all decide whether or not if I've gotten any better. I actually think that I have at least discovered a major flaw in my aiming, which I've been correcting over time. I've noticed a lot of my shots that I happen to take, especially cut shots, the default miss is an overcut. And when Demetrius was here, I've talked about this before, especially with that clip that I made of him talking about the competitor cycle. I watched that video over and over and over, almost on repeat, to be reminded of what Demetrius was talking about in regards to staying in the beginner's mindset and not trying to let my ego take me to a place where I don't belong. And since then, I've been able to enjoy playing more and not really have any sort of expectation of any kind, which I think has been good. And in doing so, that's when I was able to notice a significant flaw on particular cut shots to where the default miss is overcutting them. And that's always thinking that when I get down on a shot, and I've talked about this before, when you pull the trigger and shoot the cue ball, you think everything you're looking at is correct. And you find out if you're right or wrong. And the biggest thing that's done it for me now is just noticing what's referred to as a sight picture. The picture of what you're being able to see to know whether or not if you're going to make the ball or not. And I've noticed something a little bit clearer now, to where a lot of the cut shots that I was missing, I'm either missing closer now because I'm bobbling the pocket, or obviously they're going in, and I'm not overcutting as much. Now, as a human being, there's still time where I do end up overcutting a shot still. But it'll hopefully show itself on what I'm talking about. It's very difficult for me to really explain what I'm seeing, other than, like I said, when I get down on a shot and I say to myself, yeah, this looks right, starting from the ghost ball. And I say, this looks right, and I shoot the ball, and I end up overcutting the shot by like sometimes a half a diamond or a quarter of a diamond. And it always puzzled me, like, why I would miss so badly. And sometimes worse than a quarter of a diamond, thinking that, well, this is the way that I've shot for 20 plus years. Why does it work on certain shots, and on these other shots, it just doesn't work to where I miss as bad as I do. So hopefully we're gonna see a difference in that tonight, and see what happens. Like that's the best way for me to describe this. Now, before we go on, I got a couple of things that I have to take care of. The first one is going to be to give my shout outs to my sponsors. I will start with Onboard Sportswear. They are the company that makes the jerseys for the Mosconi Cup, which I'm going to be going to in the next couple of days. My flight to London is this coming Friday. So I'm trying to do a couple of, post some videos or do some live streams or anything before I head on out there. And then hopefully while I'm out there, I'll be able to film some content. I might do some live streams from my phone whenever I'm back at the hotel. Those streams will probably be on my Facebook page. So if you're not following on my Facebook page, you can see, at least on the YouTube chat, if you're watching on YouTube, there's a link to my Facebook page. So that way you can follow me there. But I do try to balance between where I am streaming stuff. The majority of the time I do stream on YouTube. But, lately now, for the past couple of years, I think since I've been using the Restream platform, I do live stream to both Facebook and YouTube. And then whenever I post like a YouTube short, I also post it separately as a Facebook reel. And I try to keep stuff somewhat separate. So I think when I'm in London, any live streams that I do there will probably just go strictly to my Facebook page using my phone. But I won't have any cell phone service over there, so I have to wait until I get to the hotel, and that way I can talk about what we did for the day and what day 1 and day 2 and day 3 was about, if anybody's interested in spoilers. So that's Onboard Sportswear. Like I said, the makers of the jerseys of the Mosconi Cup. You can actually, I can show you. Well, here, why don't I just go ahead and do this while I'm at it. Chris Griffin, thank you so much for following on my Facebook page. Really do appreciate that. So let's go ahead and do this so you can see what I'm talking about. This is one of the things that I love about my new cameras, because these are the jerseys. Now you're going to see those are there's also my microphones that are in the way, but let's go ahead and zoom in. Not on the YouTube plaque, even though that's a nice to have. But here are some of the jerseys that I picked up. The two here that you're seeing in the middle are the ones that I picked up from Las Vegas. And then this one here on the left is one that I picked up in London 2 years ago. There are autographs on all 4 of these. And the one over here on the right is Team Europe. This is the one that I also did pick up while I was in London 2 years ago. But these are the jerseys. And I have very similar jerseys to these for myself and my league members, because you can purchase jerseys from them with their own stock designs, and then you can add you can add your name, you can add any types of logos or anything of the sorts to do any types of customizations that they would have on there. And so if you think that you might be interested in purchasing your own jersey for either yourself or your league team, check out their websites at onboardsportswear.com or onboardsportswear.us if you live in the United States, and then use my discount code LilChris10 and you can get 10% off of your purchase. After that, we saw that there was Outsville was just on the screen. They are the makers of the Accu-Racks, and I don't know if you can remember, but I've taken some of the Accu-Racks out. These are brand new ones here. These are 2023 versions of the Accu-Racks, and I've got more in my office now. They serve as a backdrop with the pool cues that I have there. If you're looking at, if you have your own home pool table and you want to be able to have the perfect rack every time, whether it's 8-ball, 9-ball, or 10-ball, then you can purchase these racks, and they'll make sure that the balls are frozen each and every time, giving you the perfect rack, which means you can have a consistent spread, all depending upon how you actually strike the rack. And at outsville.com, which is their website, you can use my discount code that I have there, Lil Chris, but it's specific. It's LIL''space CHRIS. You have to spell it just like that. If you leave out the apostrophe or if you don't include the space, the discount code will not work. But that discount code will get you 10% off of your purchase. Then we also have Moonlighting Billiards. They are the company that makes these cutout templates for you to be able to do drills with. And speaking of which, this drill partner drill that I have here, I actually have to do a redrawing for my 100,000 subscriber giveaway. The winner of that was from Finland. And they contacted me and let me know that they would like me to pass it on to another subscriber. So we're going to take care of that after I finish the sponsor shoutouts. Now, they have this drill partner here, which is a template that allows you to put 9 balls in a straight line to do a line drill. And they also have a road edition, which has the drill partners basically cut into thirds, so that way you can have 3 balls in a line, and you get 3 sets of those. And then they also have a curved template that allows you to fit 2 balls. And when you put all 3 templates together, all 3 curved templates together, you get a semicircle of 6 balls. And so clearly, if you keep going around, you can have a 12-ball circle for a circle drill. Their website, moonlightingbilliards.com. Use my discount code LilChris10 there. You can also get 10% off of your purchase. Now, what else here? TaomBilliards. I use their gloves, and I now use their tips. I'm currently shooting with a Taom Fusion tip. I've also shot with the Taom Pro soft tip, both of which are good. I don't really consider them to be better than the How soft tip that I used to shoot with on my Predator Black 4.5. Or the Victory soft tip that I used to shoot with on my Tuxedo Cue. They're all equally as good as far as I'm concerned, but as respect to my sponsors, I am using their equipment. I just unfortunately no longer have a discount code with them. I do, however, have a lot of their products that I just recently purchased, because I've talked about before that I might start selling their products as a vendor. I just haven't really made any public announcements as to how much the items are going to cost or anything like that, because I'm waiting until I get back from London to figure that out. I will say, though, that when I do start selling their products, it will only be here in the United States. I don't think it'll be very cost efficient for me to try to ship things overseas, because I purchased them from overseas. So I have to pay some heavy shipping costs just to get them here, and it wouldn't really make much sense to pay shipping costs to just be able to send them back. So unfortunately, if you do live overseas and you're interested in trying Taom products like their gloves or their chalks or anything of the sorts, you might as well just go ahead and try to order from them directly. Let's see, what else? ICA, the ICA Training System. I am partnered up with them as well. That's the company that allows you to have a projection onto your pool table to be able to set up drills of any of the sorts. I did a live stream demonstrating it a couple of months ago, and I'm actually going to be doing some more content demonstrating how I've actually been using it to help with my training as well. The software comes on a Raspberry Pi. And then you hook up the Raspberry Pi to basically a projector, whether you want to set up the projector to go the length of the table or set up the projector to go the width of the table. I have my projector set up here on the side, which I can show you again. Let me turn off this, and let's go up, and let's go over. This is the cool thing about my new cameras here. And there you can see is the projector. That shines onto my table, so that way I can put up any types of drills that I want. I can create my own drills, and there's a bunch of drills already loaded. Now you might be able to see, especially if I get in the picture, This right here is where the Raspberry Pi is. And this is actually a very handy tool to use for your training. The only quote unquote drawback is that it is kind of expensive. But at the very least, if improving your game is worth your investment, then I think it's a tool that's definitely worth looking into. Now, what I've been able to do is I do have a discount code with them, but it's not a percentage discount. It's just a flat dollar amount off. So if you go to their website, ICAtraining.com, and use the discount code LC, this only applies to the software bundle, which includes the Raspberry Pi, HDMI cables, etc., with the software already loaded onto it. You'll get $50 off of that purchase. You just still have to buy a projector. And the projector is going to depend on what needs you have based on the amount of lightings that you have here. So my projector is actually pretty expensive because of the amount of lights that I have around my table. But I would think typically your home users only have just the one light that they would have above the table. So you probably don't need as expensive as a projector as I do. But the owner would be is very helpful in letting you know what type of equipment that you might need. So if you think you already have some of this stuff and you're only interested in just purchasing the software, which comes on an SD card, my discount code also applies to that as well. Okay, and I think one more that I haven't talked about is JFlowers, because I am now Team JFlowers. I've retired my Predator cues. No, I'm not selling them, in case anybody's wanting to know. They're now serving as a decorative backdrop when I'm in my office reviewing my APA matches. I don't have a discount code with them anymore, but they currently do have discounts going on right now. I've shared them all over my Facebook page for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, etc. So if you're interested in trying to get any of their cues, then I would suggest taking advantage of the discount codes that they currently have active. Okay, well, I mean, Loping CSF, he said I could always give them away that since I'm not selling. Even though you're not wrong, that's just something I'm not going to do. I mean, just cues that I have owned and that I've played with, you know, they are part of my own personal collection. So I just will not be giving them away. But I do have plenty of other cues and stuff that I do have plan on giving away, hopefully in the near future. So yeah, I think that about wraps it up for my sponsors. Now, what you heard me say was I need to do a redrawing for the drill partner. Like I said, because the winner of the drill partner was gracious enough to be able to give it back so that way I can pay it forward. Now, there's a problem. I have a very significant problem with choosing the winner. So let me show you what I'm talking about. First, I'm going to switch to this. All right, because everybody remembers this is the video. There we go. This is the video where I celebrated and announcing all of the prizes. You can see the drill partners right there in the middle of the table, just below the JB case. And the way this works is that I would randomly select a comment from here, and then I have to see that their subscription list is public, and I have to see that I'm in their subscription list in order for them to be an eligible winner. And when I announced all the winners, I was able to do that, verify that they were subscribers at the moment of drawings. But since then, YouTube has pushed out some updates to where validating if you're a subscriber or not is no longer easy. There's just something different. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If I switch over to this user here, this is Josh Rogers. This is my 8-ball Scotch doubles partner that I've had on my channel. And he was the winner of my town package. And as you can see, his subscription list is public. But the change that they've made to it is I can't click on this anymore because I'm clicking on it right now. So that way I can try to open it up and look and see if I'm in there. And even if I click this right arrow over here, it only shows you just a limited number of subscribers. So at one point, I already proved that he's one of my subscribers. But for some reason, I can't do it again. Now, if I go over to my channel, you can look at my subscription list, but notice that mine says view all over here. And when we looked at Josh's doesn't have a view all. And I don't know what the difference is, because look what happens when I click on view all. And it actually, it's going to show you. It comes up with this overlay. So that way you can look and see at all the different types of subscribers that I have. All right? So this is really difficult here. And so, like, I wonder if there's somebody else I can click on, for example. Let's see here. Let's look at who else is on here that I know that might be a subscriber. Let's see here. Rackham Jake. Let's look at Rackham Jake. So you notice that over here, when we look at Rackham Jake, he doesn't have a channels tab anymore. That's what it used to be. Is there used to be a tab here that would say channels, and you click on that, and that's how you'd be able to view. So if I go and look, and you can see that he doesn't have a subscription list down here. Right, so it'd be difficult for me to know whether or not if Rackham Jake is even subscribed to me. But I know Rackham Jake is. It's either Rackham Jake or it's Ron Johnson, which we actually do happen to see here in the chat. Right, so that's the part that is super frustrating about all of this, is that I can't do the same verification process. So given that this is what YouTube has done, I have no choice but to allow whoever gets selected to be the winner of this drill partner. However, they still have to go through the verification process of contacting me. They have to edit their comment with whatever code that I give them, so that way I know whoever contacts me is the correct person that actually contacts me, because only the owner of the comment can edit a comment. I at least have the power to delete comments, but only the owners of the comments can edit the comments. Now, what some people might be wondering is, well, how do you make your subscription list public? Well, here's what I can show you. We're gonna go over here to the menu here. When you go to YouTube, you can click on your little picture here that you have, and some of y'all might not have pictures on your channel, and that's fine. That's not a big deal. If you go over here to settings, oops, and then from here you can see that there's a privacy section. I click on this privacy section, there's this subscription thing here that says keep all my subscriptions private. And I have mine turned off. But it's no longer just that. Because you notice, like when I showed you Rackham Jake, there was no subscription list. Right? What you end up having to do, at least this is how you do it on a computer. I don't know what it's going to look like on the phone. If I go look at my channel now, you can see here that I have this customize channel button here because I'm the owner of the channel. So if I click on this is going to take me into my YouTube studio. And what I can do here is I have these featured sections here. And one of the sections that I have is to be able to show my subscription list. And what I believe you have to do is you have to add this now. And so what you'd end up having to do is you would say add section. And it's going to ask you, well, what do you want to add? And you would add the subscription section down here. And then that way, hopefully, it'll now post onto the channel. However, like we've seen, there are just certain channels like Josh's, for example, it doesn't have this view all option anymore. So I can't really rely on that anymore, unfortunately. So, but I do at least still want to show like this is how you're going to do it, because if YouTube ever fixes it to where I can verify if you're a subscriber or not, then I will go back to using it. But for now, this next drawing that I'm about to do, whoever gets picked, that's going to be the winner. Now, what still applies is previous winners cannot be picked. And I know who all the previous winners are. So I have them listed. So that is still going to remain the same. If you've been picked before, you will not be picked again. Now, if you were picked before, but your subscription list wasn't public, so therefore you didn't win at that point in time, if you get picked this time, you'll automatically be a winner. Because like I said, I can't use the subscription list anymore as a validation. So what we're going to do now is I already have this set up to where I can pick a winner. And there are currently 170 comments that I can pick from. So all I'm going to do is come down here, and everybody knows how this works. I don't have to do a demonstration. If you wanted to see a demonstration, you'd have to go and watch the previous live stream where I picked all the winners. So let's see what happens here. And if it's someone that I've already chosen, I'm just going to go ahead and pick again. But let's find out. The winner, or the new winner of the drill partner, is going to be in 3, 2, 1, click. Ha! Emmett King. And Emmett King was a person that got picked but didn't have his subscription list public at the time. We can go ahead and look and see, has anything changed since then? See? Nothing has changed. But like I said, Emmett, you are now a winner. All right, so I don't know what else I can do here, because there's nothing I can do, and I don't know if there's anything that Emmett's going to be able to do. So Emmett, congratulations. I will be replying to your comment, so that way hopefully you're notified that you're the winner. And what we'll end up having to do is you're going to have to contact me, and I'm going to give you a random code that you're going to have to add into your comment, so that way I know that you are the person that contacted me, and then give me your shipping address, and so that way we can get your drill partner mailed out to you. And then hopefully that all happens before I leave Thursday, because I'm actually going to be going to Austin to stay overnight in Austin Thursday night, because my flight is first thing Friday morning. All right, so that's that there. Let's go back to this. Okay. Sheesh. Now let me just save this, so that way I know to go highlight Emmett's, or reply to Emmett's comment, and then we can go from there. Okay. That's at least all taken care of. Close. Close a lot of different things, so that way my computer's not so bogged down with stuff. Okay, we're good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with some straight pull. At the very, I can always say I hope to maybe beat my record live. I hope to maybe score my first 100 live. But I think the most reasonable thing that I'm definitely looking for is I want to be able to do a 50 plus live for y'all. I think I've done it a couple of times, but I certainly would want to be able to do it tonight. And before I get started, if you haven't done so already, please give this stream a thumbs up, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. It really doesn't matter. If you're on Facebook, though, please consider sharing the stream to your Facebook profiles. That way your friends and family can get to know me, and maybe gain some sort of interest in playing pool. And then, of course, share it to your favorite pool groups as well. And then, of course, if liking the stream on YouTube helps me out in the YouTube algorithm, so that way more people can discover the stream while I'm live streaming or after the fact. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to switch over to this. I just have a microphone here, and I have 2 microphones above the table here. But hopefully you can hear me okay. Just like before, as I go through each of the racks, I'm going to at least attempt to explain what I'm doing and how I'm trying to work my way through the racks. And then as time goes by, I'm going to start talking less and less, so that way I can focus more on trying to actually be able to do a high run. Just went to go check on my scoring program that I use to keep score. So this is supposed to be considered a standard classic break here. I'm going to cut the 5 ball into the corner pocket, drive the cue ball into the rack, which it looks like I should be contacting the 15 ball. And the cue ball should be going to the short rail and then coming back out. This is all done with just topspin. not bad. As far as scoring is concerned, I still don't record any zeros, and I have to at least make a ball after the opening break. So like if I were to miss right now on my next shot, I wouldn't even count this score. But if I make my next shot and then miss, that score counts. Okay, so decent break. Got a little bit of a mess here that we have to solve, and it doesn't really look like I have a decent break ball. I might be able to use the 3-ball as a break ball, but I also might try to use the 3-ball to be improved. So I have to make it a priority to get down here and start solving this stuff. The question is going to be is how do I do that? Especially with insurance shots. And what I mean by that is, for example, if I really wanted to be gutsy, I could try shooting the 11 ball right now from where I'm at. Get the cue ball to come into the rail here and then come into this 13 ball and this 3 ball. And then hopefully the 14 ball or the 6 ball would be my insurance shot. Because I want to make sure that I have some sort of shot afterwards. If I want to try to get a little bit closer, I have the option to shoot the 2 ball into the side pocket. And that looks about it. Or I can even maybe cut the 7 ball. But those cut shots mean I'm driving the cue ball down table, which is going to be a little bit harder to control. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and start with the 2. That way I open this pocket up for the 7 ball. But more than likely, I am going to be trying to get position for, or maintain position for this 11 ball. A little flat on the 11, so I'm not sure if I want to shoot it. But I think we're going to go ahead and try. So I'm going to shoot the 11, force the cue ball into the short round, try to come into the 13 and the 3 ball with the 14 ball as a backup shot. Okay, never mind. Too much spin. I at least turned the 6 ball into a break ball, even though it's far away from the rack. It's a little far on the side rail there, but it can work. Now my priority is to deal with these 2. Which I might be able to do. I think I want to get flat on this ball, that way I can deal with this, as well as try to deal with the 2-ball cluster. And dealing with this, I might be able to make the 9 ball into a better break ball than the 6. Just double check a couple of things. We're going to use the 10 ball to get a little bit flatter on the 15. This makes it a little bit easier. I'd like to get probably like right here for the 3 ball. That way I can follow forward, bump into the 4, which pushes the 9 hopefully to about right here to a perfect break ball position. And the 13 ball is my backup shot to go here. Now my angle might be just a little too much here. I don't think I'm gonna hit the 4 ball if I try to cut the 3 ball. So I can opt to take the 13 ball and try to get a better angle, which I think that might be what I'm going to do. So that is a little bit of a better angle. I just don't know how much the 9 ball is going to move when I bump into the 4. But now I've got the 7, 8, 12, and maybe even the 1 ball as backup shots. Oh, don't tie up. Okay. So now, unfortunately, this is a better break ball than the 6 ball, but now I gotta get the 1 ball out of the way. Now I probably should start thinking about my end pattern, really. But in order for this to work, let's do 14 to the 8. Trying to figure out if I want to leave these two to get position on the 6 and use the 6 as a key ball to the 9 ball. Maybe I can even use the 4 ball as a key ball. Well, no, because the 4 ball is supposed to set me back up for the 1 ball. Let's try this. I think how I'm going to do this. I could do 8, 7, roll to the 4 to the 1, maybe go from the 1 to the 12, and then to the 6. That might be okay. Well, if I get too flat on the 7 ball, I should have thought about that a little bit more and maybe positioned myself right here so I can push forward to the side rail here. This is a little too straight. I can actually scratch if I fall too far forward. So less than ideal position on the 4 ball. This is getting down to the wire where my positioning has to be tight. Otherwise the whole rack can fall apart. And holding for the 1 ball is going to be really difficult. So I think I have to change my route from here. Now I'm not so sure. Too much draw. I have position on the 1 ball. I would have rather have gotten position on the 4 ball. This is where things get interesting here. What I learned from Demetrius about using high outside to hit this rail. Question is, can I come over here and not touch the 4 and then come back out for the 4? Or will I end up bumping into the 4 ball? And if I roll too far, that's like if I manage to cut this in, hit the rail, miss the 4 ball, and then come back out this way and land anywhere over here, then I've got plenty of options. But I have every reason to think that I'm going to bump into this 4 ball if I try this. Just like that. But give me a good bump. All right. So this is a pretty dirty end pattern, especially since I'm bumping into balls very late in the game. But I probably would like to shoot the 4 into the side and get over here for the 6 or the 9. It really doesn't matter. Now this is where things get interesting. I don't know if I can shoot the 6 in and hold to where I'd like to land anywhere on this line or on this side. That's what I'm going to end up trying to do. Slow down. Kind of like that. So, like I said, a dirty end pattern, but even with all that commentary, I was able to get to the first rack. And actually, before I go on, would everybody let me know if they can hear me okay? Just want to make sure. Okay, cool. Thank you. Like I said, it might sound a little echoey out here, but as long as you can make out what I'm saying, then we're in good shape. Now, here's what I'm hoping. Because a lot of the times when I get to this point, I'll end up missing the break ball by overcutting it. If I don't overcut it and I hit the rack and I don't have a shot, perfectly fine with that. Perfectly fine with that. So with this one here, it looks like I might be contacting the 1 or the 6. I haven't really gotten this part down yet to where I can accurately judge what ball I'm going to hit. But what I am going to do is probably put some top right spin, hit the short rail, hit this rail, and come out hopefully towards the middle of the table. That way if I've disturbed anything, hopefully I have a shot at it. At least that's going to be the plan. Ah! And then, like I said, except that one, that was an undercut. That was an undercut that time. So I can end that. And before I go on, I'm going to try that shot again to see if I can do what I really wanted to do. This attempt here is not going to count as a run, though. I'm pretty sure it was something like this. And this is what I was talking about, to where when I make my adjustment that I'm talking about, I'll either miss a lot closer or it ends up becoming an undercut. I think this was it, and since I know I undercut it this time, there. That's what I was supposed to do. That's what I was hoping was going to happen. But okay, no big deal. This has been one of the harder parts, is when I've done that enough to where I've literally like lost my mind about all my practice sessions and everything else. And this is where what I've said before about how I'm enjoying my practices more often now is because that doesn't bother me as much anymore. Of course, I'm still a little irritated that I missed it, especially since I'm doing it on a live stream. But it's nowhere as bothersome as it used to be. And that's what allows me to enjoy my practice sessions better. I've been enjoying the game better, and just accepting that this is a tough game. All right, so let's try to rinse and repeat. And like I said, as we go on, there'll be just less and less talking, because the theory of how I break down the rack is going to remain the same, but hopefully my end patterns are going to look cleaner than the previous ones. Ooh. Don't really like it when my cue ball Ends up over here though. A lot of the times when, especially when I'm in a position like that, I usually just try to just get one shot down to get into the rack. Then I start looking around as to what I'm really going to do. So, in other words, we've got break ball, and both of these balls serve as key balls to one another. So where if I left this as the key ball, I can hopefully shoot it into this corner and then go 2 rails around for the 2 ball, or maybe go up 1 rail and come over here for the 2, and then vice versa for the 5. A little bit of an issue that I have right here, which I can hopefully use any one of these balls, including the 2 or the 5, to hopefully solve. Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want to really attempt to solve it right now by shooting the 2 ball and having the cue ball go into this. And the reason for that is because the 13 can bump the 15 and cluster up here next to the 5. Now, unless I'm super confident and accurate, can I get the 15 to bump into the 5 and kind of replace it and put the 5 over here? Then maybe we're okay, because then the 15 ball would now be a new break ball. I'd rather try to figure out a way of disturbing these without bothering these 2, if I can, if possible. Right now, I'm just not sure if it is possible. And I saw shortstop on pool is in here. He probably already knows what should be done here. Shout outs to you, Bob. Oh, are you serious? So like that, right? I made the first shot after the break and then missed. So that's a harsh inning for me right there. 4. That was a real harsh inning right there. Let's try not to do that again. And if my memory serves correctly, I overcut that shot. But that shot's behind me now. Kind of like that, overcutting the opening break shot. And it's actually starting to get warm in here. That's not as bad. We still have very similar issues that we have to try to resolve. want this ball to fall. Trying to figure out how to solve this now, because that's why I didn't want the 2 ball to fall. I thought I missed that. This is looking like the break ball right now with the way things are going. Oh, there's that overcut that I was talking about. That's an 11. So let's see what this would have looked like. This is what I was trying to do. That's too much. The ideal break shot would have been like that. That's what I was trying to do with that one. I was also looking for a pattern to where maybe I could put the cue ball in the rack and take ball in hand in the kitchen. That means I had to get on that last ball there. All right, slow start. See if we get better as we go along. Don't do it. Woo. Okay. I was definitely trying to minimize my cue ball movement to get here, but I probably should have went ahead and did a move. And see, that's the overcutting that I'm talking about. That's what was that? 13. That's the overcutting that I'm talking about. And I actually thought my sight picture was an undercut, like I'd shoot it into the rail and it would go in. Because that's what I was supposed to do. But that type of miss is what I'm talking about. Actually, I'll start this next one from this position. time to time. But I don't think I do it as often anymore. Try it again, actually, same position. There we go. Okay. Again, overhit the ball. And based on that, this might have to be the break ball. so grateful to obviously get to the end of that. Ideally, it would have been just a little bit better if I was somewhere over here. So that way when I shot the ball in, I can get the cue ball to come over here for a back cut angle rather than being this far away. That would have been ideal. But we made it to the second rack again, and we have a break shot. Okay, let's try to make the best of it. This is always the worst part of it when you do stuff like this and you just like don't end up with a shot. Fortunately, I have a couple of options here. Had that cue ball rolled a couple more inches, I think I would have been closed off from every single solitary ball. And that just would be the story of my life. So, big problem right here, and then obviously real big problem right here. So I'm trying to decide the best way to deal with this before I start shooting. Because the 10 obviously leads to the 14, and maybe I can go from the 14 to the 3 ball over here. Then after that, it's like, what do I do? Maybe I can go to the 14 to the 8. Or maybe a 14 to the 6 might be the way to go. Well, not straight in. Do I cheat this enough to bump into the 15? That might help. Of course, I'm risking missing the 10 ball by doing that. And I'm also risking missing my position too. Just made this harder than it needed to be, but I think the benefit outweighs the risk. Now we start getting to a point to where it's like, okay, well, if I break into all of this, what are my insurances? I don't have any. Like, I just have to hope that I have a shot. And I still haven't figured out how to deal with this just yet. So I have a back cut shot on the 15, which means I'm going to graze the 1, which means nothing's really going to happen. So I don't think that's a good shot. I would probably want to use the 2 to get position on the 1 or position on the 12. The 12 ball does go. And interestingly enough, there's this 11-5 combo that's really risky, but it opens this whole area up. And with that open up, then I might be able to attack 7 and the 4. That might be the way to go. attack the one and go into the cluster. But I'm really starting to wonder if I should go for that 5 ball. Draw off the 8 back over to here, and I should have a shot at these guys. I think I'm talking myself into it. 5 ball, corner pocket. See? So now I got the 6 ball or the 3 ball to attack that. I just got to get into position for it, or I can attack it right now with the 12. I don't know if I want to attack right now with the 12 ball, though, because then I'm relying on... Actually, I don't know. Maybe attacking with the 12 is the right shot. Hey, I don't think that's a big deal. I think the 6-11 is a nice combo. And it is, so not that big of a deal. Break ball, break ball. Yikes. Oh, that hurt. I can't believe I neglected that. Ugh. Sometimes you just don't want to make a snap call on what your end pattern is going to be. More inches makes a difference. So, one thing I've been learning about this is I don't want to try to land here anymore. What I usually try to do is I hit the rail, come over here and try to land here. Now I try to make sure I hit the rail and then come back out, which means I can still overdo it. Boom, like that. And we've got a third rack. Oh, did y'all see that? How the cue ball came back and then spun its way forward? Those are always cool reactions to watch. Oh, I really hate this 12 ball. So I gotta get this 11 out of the way. That way I can use these two to get on the 12 to go down. Okay, so I can use the 6, bump into this to kind of spread them open. That's the backup shot. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Well, still kind of do it with the 12 ball, or I mean the 13 ball. Purple 5, purple 13. There we go. Now, still a little bit of a small problem that I think I can address right now with this 11 ball. Ooh, the fact that I ran into the 9 the way that I did just really complicated things. I have a difficult shot at the 3, and then a semi-difficult shot on the 2. I don't think I can risk shooting that 5 ball. Ooh, maybe I should have hit this one just a little bit harder. All right. The question is do I play the 1-5 combo? I'd really like to use the 5 to get on the 12. I'm just not in a good position to do it. If I play the 1-5 combo, one ball has the likelihood of coming right over here, which isn't really any good. Because I would like to shoot the 1 up here. That sets me up for the 5, and then sets me up for the 12. If I can get over here, I can just play the 5. And that might be what I end up trying to do using this 8 ball. Like that. Now it doesn't matter that I have a cut angle to where I can't get on the 5, because now I can use the 1 to get on the 5. Oh, that was not supposed to happen. That stinks. Supposed to get position on the 7 without touching the 4. All right, so that ruined a lot of stuff there. All right, so I think that means the 3 ball has to be the break ball if I shoot it in the side. So now my end pattern looks like it might be 9, 1, 12, 4, 7, 3. Gotta make sure, actually, that 4 is looking kind of rough after the 12. Maybe I use the 4 now. I'll have to move from the 9 to the 7. The right way to do it. Man, I'd like to use the 1 ball as a break ball as well, side pocket break shot and come into the rack, but I got to use the 1 to get on the 12. I don't think I want to risk cutting the 4 in the side and maybe getting on the 12. No, I don't want to risk that. Yeah. I think this is right. Let's do this. Wait a minute. Ah, decisions. Stick to a plan. Ooh. Don't touch the 3. All right, I got there. This is not easy. Okay. This is not easy, though. This is not easy. All right. We're thankful that we made the break ball. Even though there's not really a shot. I have the 2 ball in the corner. And maybe the 13 in the side. Everything else is like super difficult. Oi! And the 5 ball is blocked by the 15 ball. I don't think I can back cut the 8 into the corner. I have no choice but to shoot the 2. And after I shoot the 2, then what? Right? Because cutting the 2, cue ball's coming out like this. I maybe get positioned on the 12, because as I come out, over here in this area, there's really no options for me that are opened up. Ooh, my goodness. You know what? It would be just my luck if the cue ball found the side pocket if I make the 2 ball. 13 ball on the side, though it's a much more harder shot because that 11 ball is really big, being right next to it. Ooh. All right, 2 in the corner. All right, still alive. That's all that matters. And I got position on the 12. All right, so now let's really dissect this rack and see what we can do. I was actually trying to play position for this guy, but I knew I had this as a backup if I get blocked by the 8 ball. Okay, this is where I might be able to risk making the 8, coming into the back of these with, I think, the 15 and the 14 as backup shots. I think this is an okay shot to go for. I think ideally I would like to bump into that 10 ball. That might open things up significantly if I do that. Or it might close things. All right, well, at least I have a shot at the 10 ball. Whoops. Not cool. Wait. Hate the fact that I still didn't open the entire rack with that mess right there. Now, I shoot the 14 ball, I'm going to bump into the 15, and I don't even know what I'm going to have after that. So should I shoot the 15 instead? It's a harder shot. Cue ball will come out into the open. Maybe I can have a shot at the 7. Maybe the 15 is the better ball to shoot at, even though it's harder. Okay. Now, how do I solve the 13 and the 6? Two options of break ball, 5 ball or the 7 ball. I really like to use the 11 as a break shot for the 6 and the 13. What I might end up doing is shooting the 11, get position on the 5, use the 5 to break these out with the 14 as a backup shot. That might be the way to go. Let me check to see if the 13 passes on its own, which it doesn't. That means the 7 ball is going to have to be the break ball if I do that. That might be the way to go. Ooh, did I get too much of an angle? I think I did. I think that's too much of an angle. So does that mean I try to use the 1 and go into these? I mean, I think I can still hit it. Maybe not. I think I like the 1 ball better. Oh, look at that! No! Oh, I overcut the ball. Is that 50 though? So 2, 4, 6. That means I made 9. That's a 51! I got a 50 on a live stream. All right. Goal 1 accomplished. Let's see. I've made 93 out of 126. Let me do one more attempt, because hopefully if I score at least 7, that'll put me over 100. That's usually what I like to try to do, is score at least 100 balls before I take a break. Oh, I can't believe I overcut that 1 ball. What's my average looking like now? 50 should have helped. Yeah, 18 is my average. I like it. Ugh, cue ball. Why? Why cue ball? This is okay though. This is the exhausting part about this game. Right? You just saw me do a bunch of failed attempts, and then I got that 51, right? And now I have to start all the way back over. That's how torturing this game is, trying to run 100 balls. So imagine how I felt after I did that 88 and then missed. The game can be so torturing. All right, let's see here. What do I want to do? I don't know. missed that. Whoops. Wasn't sure if I really wanted to do that, but I guess it worked. Kinda. I mean, did it work? I don't, maybe it didn't work. The 3 ball's blocked now. Now I gotta break it up again. Ideally, what I was trying to figure out how to do is to get on this 2 ball. That way I can shoot the 3 and then go into the cluster this way. And I'm fine as far as where I'm at because I have a shot at the 9, but whoops. That didn't work out. That was supposed to run into these, not bump into the 2 ball. That's, oh, that hurt. That really hurt. That hurt a lot. Doggone it. That was a huge mistake. Trying to make the 2 ball. Whoa, the heck? All right. All right, at the end of the day, we're happy to get out of the rack. the end of the day, we're happy to get out of the rack. I have a really high break ball, so I gotta assess whether or not if I'm gonna run into the top two balls or not. Oh yeah, I don't know. Like I think I might clip the 9. This is probably a shot that I don't want to hit this too hard, because then the cue ball will just slide around like this and then go completely around the rack before it goes up. So I think I have to just smooth this in, which means I'm not going to get a decent break. Of course, I have to make sure I make the ball. Oh, that worked out. I hit the 3 instead. So this is what oh, give me a shot. Okay. Yeah. So this is what I was talking about, where like a lot of the times my assessment of what ball I'm gonna run into isn't as accurate as I'd like it to be. But clearly this works out. I'm out here where I have a shot. I don't care what it is. Just so long as I have a shot. All right, let's see here. Now I gotta really put some thought into this. Let's see. One ball goes. The 8 ball past the 7. Oh, barely. That's risky. I wanted to try that. I'd rather move the 7 out of the way. Tricky. I don't know what to do. Call the 15. I've got options. I don't really like the idea of shooting the 9 and coming into the cluster, because I'm just pushing stuff this way, which means I'm tying all this up. The 1 ball might be my backup ball if I do that. And I might not have a choice in the grand scheme of things. I could shoot the 10 and try to bump into the 12. That'll knock the 5 into the 4 and probably bump the 2 out. Maybe I'll still have a shot at the 1. Otherwise, if I miss this altogether and I come through here, which is likely, I can land over here on the 8 and the 7. That actually might be the better choice, and then I could preserve the 9 ball. Yeah, see. That's the better choice, in my opinion. Now, I might actually be able to bump into the 11 and the 1. Okay, that's a little helpful. Now, can I use the 7 to go into the back of the stack and have the 1 and the 11 as backups? This might work. That's why it's very important to pick out a pattern that allows you to do that. You saw one time where I tried to do that and I thought one of my backup shots was going to work, and it didn't. So, but that's usually what you're betting on. I got 2 break balls, which is good. 2, or the 3 goes over there. Once I move the 3, that opens up the 4, which then opens up the 5. So this looks pretty good. As long as I don't mess it up. Just because it looks pretty good doesn't mean I won't mess it up. So right, bump that. There we go. Helps out a little bit. Okay. So everything goes. Don't necessarily need to bump into anything anymore. Now, this is where I probably should really figure out how I'm going to try to finish this off. I have no clue how I'm going to do that. The silly part is that if this was 8-ball, I could probably like figure it out like that. But not so sure here. Mainly because of these two. These two are really bothering me right now. And this guy bothers me too, but it's like, ugh, do I shoot him now? I just don't like the angle that I have on him. Quit complaining. Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna bump into the 2-ball. Oh, I can't. I put too much spin. I put too much spin because I didn't want to go all the way around. I just wanted just to come up through it. Well, we get to have fun with this shot. How creative could I be to make this ball and break the rack open? Too much side spin on that one. Too much side spin. Woo! All right. So, all right, I think this is out of the question because I just don't like bridging over that. I mean, to cut it down there, make it hit the rack or hit the rail and come back because the cue ball will probably bounce if I do that. So I think that's out of the question. I think what has to happen is I have to cross bank the 2. That means I send my cue ball up this way and then try to maybe spin back around to hit the stack. I think that's what I have to do. It should be fun. Be a highlight shot if I can nail it. Hey, cue ball, cross side. Wait for it. Wait for it. Like that. Oh. Well, no biggie. That's the 3rd rack on that one. that that is kind of a personal best on stream. Took me only, oh, hold on. Why am I not showing you this? There we go. Look at this. Took me only 6 attempts to score over 100 points. That big 51 that I got. And it's a split right now. 3 times I couldn't get out of the first rack. And then 3 times where I did get out of the first rack. So this is cool. So 12 total racks if you count everything. So like the way that works is, 3 times I didn't get out of the first rack. So that's obviously 3 racks right there. And then there's the second the time I got that 14, that's 2 racks right there. So that's a total of 5. Plus the 3 racks is a total of 8. And then plus the 4 racks, that's a total of 12. Of the 12 racks, I only got through 6 of them. That's clearly not counting the first 3 is the way that works. So when you look at 12 racks, you multiply that by 14. That's why there's 168 balls that I could have made. But I only made 121 of them with an average of 20 points per inning, which is really good. I think this is a personal best for me on stream. Personal best. I've scored 50s before on stream. I think I've got like maybe two or 3. This might be my 3rd or 4th one on stream, which is good. But for now, I'm gonna take a small break, and actually I'm gonna go really take a break. So I'm gonna give you the little intermission screen here. And I will be right back. We can do like some answers like Q&As and stuff. So be right back. All right, everybody, I'm back. Whew, okay. You know what? Let's go ahead and hide this. And does anybody have any questions while I take a small break? And then I'll go at it again. I don't know how long I'm going to stream tonight. I can see that I've already been streaming for 2 hours. And then we can like typically I try to do 3 sets of scoring 100 points, but it just depends on how this next session goes. But we'll see. Let's see here. I'm gonna go look through the comment section or the live chat. See a lot of good friends in here, a lot of familiar faces. Oh, okay. So Billy Jack, you're wanting to know what was my thought process, and actually I need to change this because you need to appear above the view counter. There we go. You wanted to know what was my thought process with the Masse shot. Well, if you can remember, I had that shot and potentially one other option. There was, let me do this. If you remember, clearly, I don't know what was all in the middle, but I had something here where I can do the Masse shot, kind of like this. And then there were two balls up here that blocked this ball. So the only other option I had besides the Masse shot was to try to back cut the ball over here. So that thought did cross my mind. The only reason why I took the Masse shot was because of the next shot that you saw me take. Because I saw that was almost guaranteed to happen, versus me trying to really hold my cue ball to cut this ball into the corner pocket and then still hold position on any of the other balls that were out in the open. That was pretty much the thought process, knowing that if I do this, my cue ball essentially knocks that ball in and stays somewhere right over in this area, and I had that ball that was right here that got me back into the game. That was the thought process, that led me into doing the Masse shot. And I just realized you might not have been able to hear me on that one. Did everybody hear that explanation okay? Because when I'm at this microphone, I shut off the shotgun microphone, and I have to remember when I go back and forth to turn that microphone back on, because I don't want, when I'm here, to be as echoey, because sometimes that shotgun microphone can pick me up while I'm here, and I'll sound really echoey here, and I don't want that to be. Okay, cool. Everybody, you still heard me okay? Okay, good. That's what I wanted. Awesome. Okay. Oh. Hey, Gene Kelly, you're wanting to know when am I gonna play with the ICATs? The ICA training system? That's coming. I got a couple of demonstration videos that I want to do with how I use it. I was actually advised by Robin, the owner, to take some of the drills that I've made. There's a couple of drills that I've posted as shorts or Facebook Reels, where I use the ICA training system to basically mark where the balls are at, and you'll actually see a grid on the table as well. And he suggests that I should make a long form video on those drills, so that way he can actually make we can make a module of mine that we can sell if I ask him to where when my module is loaded onto the system, it'll obviously put the drill on there, and there'll be a QR code that can be projected onto the table as well. And what's supposed to happen is if it's the first time seeing the drill and you're just not sure how to execute it, if you were to scan that QR code, then that'll take you to the video that explains how you're supposed to try to execute the drill. That's at least what was requested. I just haven't had the time to do that yet. But I have other things that I want to be able to do as well, as far as being able to demonstrate the purpose or the utility of the ICA training system. I certainly understand that it's very expensive, but that's also why I talk about. It's also why I talk about, like, owning a drill partner, maybe. Having the drill partner templates. It's clearly what people can afford that can help them improve their game. You can barely see it, but next to the scoreboard that's leaning up against the my shelves back there is the brake rack. I've owned that thing for a couple of months now. I have yet to use it for the first time. I've opened it, I've looked at it, but I haven't even set it up yet on the table. So, like, there's still that I want to be able to do as well. And the brake rack is not a cheap utility either. It's a matter of the hard part about like plugging these tools. If I deem them worthy to be plugged, is just the selling point of like, do you actually believe that the price is worth the investment of improving your game? That's really the hard selling point when it comes to pitching any of these items. Huh. Let's see here. Nate. I can try something right now if you would like to come on the stream. I can have it right. I can try to do some. I've been looking at something in the background offline about having remote guests, especially for something like this. If you have a couple of minutes, I can try to pull you in right now if you'd like. That's entirely up to you, bud. Let me see here, because in order for this to work, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, on your phone is fine. That's not an issue. Let me see here. All right, why are my headphones not working? Hold on a second, folks. Well, this isn't cool. We might have to do this another time. Well, here, hold on. Maybe I'll just have you come through the speakers. Give me just a second. Nate, be looking for a message on Facebook. Hang on a second, folks. This should be pretty cool if I can pull this off. Let's see here. Nate, if you can click on that link that I just gave you. Wish I can figure out why my Bluetooth headphones won't turn on. Let's see here. Just check on something now. We're almost in the works here. Nate, can you hear me? Oh, there we go. Hold on. There we go. Okay. I can hear you now. So give me just a second because I need to add you to the stream. So what we're going to do is this. Okay, say something, Nate. Oh, you sounded like you peaked there. Let me lower your volume there. Can you hear me?
Check, check. 1, 2. What's going on, Chris?
How about that, folks? Could y'all hear Nate? You sounded like you peaked there. Let me lower your volume there. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What's going on, Chris?
How about that? Oh, why is there a delay, though? Why is there a... All right, hopefully this should be better.
So what's weird is I'm playing you from my TV so I can hear you.
Oh,
but
okay.
It doesn't come out of my phone.
Oh, well, that's interesting. That's why then. You should be able to hear me. You should be able to hear me in real time on your phone. Oh, well, that's interesting. That's why then. You should be able to hear me. You should be able to hear me in real time on your phone. Oh, well, that's interesting. That's why.
Getting all that echo.
You can hear the echo. Okay, well, if everybody can hear you just fine, as long as you're not peaking, then we're good. But so
yeah,
it's
not coming out of my phone.
So that's weird then. But so
it's not coming out of my phone. I could always just try to mute whenever I'm not talking, so there's no feedback.
Okay. I wish I knew why you can't hear me through your. I've tested this, and you should be able to hear me through your phone. So I'm really perplexed as to why you can't.
I have an idea. It could just be because I'm entering from the built-in Safari browser from the Facebook Messenger. So let me come back in.
Okay, we could try that. So give Nate another minute or two, and we'll give this a try. And actually, give me one moment, folks. I'll be right back again because I'm gonna go get some headphones. Be right back. Okay, so let's try this, and let me see if I can hear Nate this time. Whoops, I'm at the wrong scene. Let's switch back to this. All right, so I gotta do something real quick. Okay, so Nate, is that any better? Can you hear me in real time?
I can hear you, but it's still out of the TV. I don't hear you from my phone. Whoa.
So you should be able to see me now.
That may be fixed. Hold on. I do see you, but I don't believe your audio is coming through the whatever web app is being used to send your audio through the stream here.
There we go. I can hear you in my headphones now. Okay, well, as long as everybody can hear him, we should be okay.
Yeah, I could still hear you through the TV, but not the phone. It's weird.
Okay, well then, with that being said, then we're gonna try to do this. I'll play some, and we'll have Nate commentate as to what I'm doing. So, Nate, are you able to see me in real time, at least? At least?
I can see you in real time, but when I hear the playback of my own audio coming through the TV, it's like a 5 or 6 second delay.
Okay. That sounds about right then. Like I said, the main point is hopefully that the viewers can hear you, and as long as you can see me in real time in this meeting now, or at least what you should be able to see in real time is on your phone. At the very least. And I'm trying to check something here.
Yeah, I believe that's right. I think you're coming in through live on my phone pretty quickly.
Okay, cool. Then let's give this a shot. I'm actually going to turn down the volume a bit because I don't want to hear Nate while I'm shooting. But y'all should be able to hear him just fine. What did I do with my glove? Oh, there we go. All right, sorry for the delay, folks. Now we're going to get back into business.
I don't know if shortstop on pool is still in here, Bob. I don't know if you're still in here, but you should probably be the guy to do some commentary.
And of course, Nate, feel free to drop whenever you think you need to. It won't affect the stream. Still got to figure out why you can't hear me in real time though. That's perplexing.
All right, sounds good, dude.
All right, here we go.
We'll figure something out. I think that eventually we'll nail it, and it'll be some good streaming.
That's always funny to see when that happens. That doesn't count. Like I said, that would
that's
basically be considered a
that's the way to
zero.
start the stream or start the rack. It's all good, dude. We all do it. Now, for viewers, straight pool is likely my worst game. So I don't know if I'm the right guy for this, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah,
We're gonna have some fun. And
do
what's
one
sad is I
small
actually
thing,
can't
really.
see any comments. So, well, maybe I don't know. I could try to switch over. We'll see.
Ah.
Yeah, that would have been nice if that two ball had held over the side.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and open with a risky shot here because if I miss, it doesn't count. Because I don't like this at all.
Right, so
I'm gonna actually hit the 8 first and then try to force my way into the 15. But I'm calling the 15 on the side.
And 8-ball player and one pocket player. I'm not much of a one pocket player, but I do love me some one pocket. But as a non-straight pool player, it's going to be fascinating muting Chris. So I literally can't hear him right now. So you guys don't get that double feedback.
Now that I'm in the rack, now I start looking around again because got some issues here.
Oh, that's a nice
It looks shot. Like the 12
it'll be interesting
can actually go through.
To sort of dissect
and I might be able to bump
what
the
he's
5
trying
out
to
of
do.
the way.
I know he's trying to talk, so maybe I'll mute back and forth.
The 5 goes if I can actually get on the good side of the 5. Don't really have a decent break ball except the 14. So I'd like to leave it alone if I could. I really need to get these gone so that way I could open these 4 up to this pocket. But the 9 and the 7 are still kind of tricky as well.
So my eye immediately goes to the 4 ball to break out the cluster you have in the stack. Maybe he can get some sort of easy angle on the 4 ball to roll into there and still have somewhat of a insurance ball.
That didn't do anything for me.
Oh man.
Right.
Still spinning. It's crazy.
Okay.
That's a nice
so
one.
The 7 actually went, but now it doesn't because the 5 blocks it. So I gotta get the 5 out of the way. 4 leads to the 11. The 9 ball doesn't go. Yeah, this starts to get a little tricky. I probably want to go from the 3 to the 4 to the 11, and then have an angle on the 11 to maybe open this stuff up a little bit. I don't think I want to risk. I mean, I could. Maybe I could. If I risk shooting the 5, go 1, 2, 3, get position on the 4. I don't think I'm going to try to shoot this soft enough to hold position for the 3. Actually, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea.
Don't you do it! Oh, are you serious? At least I have a shot at the 3. Talk about unfortunate.
Oh no, he overspun it. Ugh. That's tough. That's super tough. Yeah, I mean, that's a tough.
I'm supposed to get position on the 4 ball.
So, I don't know if
4,
Chris has
7, 8.
any
That's
way
a
of hearing
7.
me. It looks like he's gonna come back and check. But yeah, that's a tough out. This is super difficult on my end right now, by the way, just because I'm in a position where I'm getting this like 6 or 7 second delayed stream where I'm every once in a while hearing you because I'm unmuting my TV while at the same time muting myself on my phone, which is actually more real time live to what you're doing. So I think I'm gonna bow out right now, but in the future we should figure out this setup so I'm actually viewing real time, commenting real time, and having a real time conversation, or at least being able to do this with more efficiency and speed.
All right, sorry everybody. I was wanting to just check and see how that sounded for everybody with Nate in the background. And then we'll get started again. Nate, are you still there?
I think
Can you
right
hear me?
now I'm gonna call it for today until we figure out whatever the delay issue is, and it might just be I'm extra delayed on my TV. So hey.
Okay, well, maybe not. Maybe he dropped off.
Well, now I think it's weird because I'm not sure Chris could hear me in his headphones, but I feel like I'm coming through because I can hear myself when I play it back.
All right, well, this was something that I was just trying for the first time live on stream. I did some tests, and I thought that it was supposed to work as intended, but I guess I still got some more troubleshooting to do with it. So, Nate, I'm going to go ahead and boot you off the stream, and then we'll try to figure it out for next time. Okay. So that one was only an 8 on that attempt there. So now let's go ahead and just do some more attempts and see what happens. Like I said, that the feature that I just tried testing out is something that I want to do more often in regards to being able to have guests on the stream, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. But we'll obviously I have some more kinks that I have to work out with it in order to get it to work the way I want it to work. So without further ado, though, let's get back to some straight pool. Oh, I said I scored an 8. That was only a 7. It was only a 7, not an 8. As you can see, it is a very common thing with what happens here after the break. Fairly repeatable. I gotta get this 13 out of the way so that way I can start shooting all those into the corner. No real decent break ball as of yet. Might be able to turn the 10 ball into a break ball. Maybe. Hmm. Oh, the 10 ball didn't roll far enough. I almost didn't end up with a shot either. Looks like the 5 ball might have gotten stuck on the ghost labels. What does that mean for me though? Because now the 15 needs to be moved so that way I can shoot the 10. I might have to use the 9 ball as a break ball. But man, this gets real tricky because cutting the 11 is super thin. Might force me to have to go 4 rails and come back into the 9 or the 8. That might be the correct shot than trying to go for this 8 ball. 8 ball is a possibility as well, but the 8 leads me to the 9. 9 leads me to the 15, and the 15 allows me to break this stuff up, but I just don't have. Actually, you know what? I wonder if this will work. Oh, I can't see it well if I shoot that way. I wonder if this will work. Like I said, this leads me to the 9. Probably could have hit it just a little bit harder to hit this rail and come over here. So now, if I can hold for that 15 ball, stop! I didn't get it. The idea was if I can hold for the 15 ball, I can shoot it. Probably try to bump into this 5, and the 5 will come off the 6 and turn into a break ball. And then the 8 ball is a backup shot. But I'm hooked. I'm hooked behind the 10. So it didn't work. I didn't hold it good enough. Now I have no choice but to shoot the 8. And if I try to do the same breakout shot, I just have to hope that I have a shot. Here, I just got to make sure I also avoid the scratch on the side. Oh, I think I barely can see this 15 ball. So let's see if I can bump into that 5. Oh, never mind. I have to make the ball. See, that's what I meant. Right there. And actually, it wouldn't have worked because I'd have to shoot the 10 as a shot. Just wasn't able. It was close to be able to squeeze by the 6 ball, I think it was, in order to be able to make the shot. So that's an 11. Okay. Nate, if you're still there, appreciate you trying out the next feature I want to be able to add to my streams. Hopefully I'll get it figured out. Jeez. There we go. That's a little bit better. We don't have that line, but we still have like this little clutter. Something always ends up blocking this pocket whenever I do that break shot. So now it's looking like I want to do a 4-3 combination at some point. Heck, I might want to try to get there right now. There's the break wall. Free ball. Alright. Now everything's solved. This is where like it would be ideal if I can just come up with an end pattern and almost make this like a 9-ball thing where I know exactly what balls I'm going to shoot in what particular order. Because the way I would probably like to end is 15 in the side, 7 in the corner, and then like leave the cue ball right here for the break shot on the 14. So like there's my last 3 balls. So I can almost do any pattern to where like in order to get on the 15, I might want to shoot the 6 or the 11 next to last to get on the 15. Like the 11 is probably the best ball because it's stop shot, roll, stop shot, and then we're good to go. So now that leaves me back to dealing with all this. So it's kind of like I might start shooting here and just work my way up to get to here. That's what it is at least looking like. 2 ball is going to be a little tricky though, maybe. Might have to do like 9 in the side, 6 in the corner, 2 in the corner, and then end with the 11, 5, 7. So how do I get to the 9 in the side? Maybe using the 8. So you see how this is working where I'm basically trying to build everything backwards? Let's see here. Of course, all that planning is not going to matter if my cue ball control is not where it's supposed to be, and I don't land precisely where I want to be on certain shots. Cue ball control must be on point in order for this to work. And that's not that's not being on point after doing a shot like that. Oi! I was trying to get position for the 8 in the side, but I'm gonna play the 8 in the corner. Okay, so now if I can get on this 6. There. So now you can look at it and see how everything, hopefully it's going to fall into place. It's going to be 6, 2, 11, 15, 7, and then I'm on the break ball. This would be great if I can get spreads like this almost every time and I can pick the rack apart like this every time. Oh, I almost missed that, but I also hit it too soft. I'm supposed to be right here. So there's the cue ball control that I'm talking about. There's no way I can shoot this in and hold position. I have to go back and forth. And I hit that one too soft. So I ruined the end pattern right there at the end. Ruined the end pattern right there at the end. Everything was looking good right up until that last point. That's how punishing this game can be. Whereas, if this were 8-ball or 9-ball, and that's the 8 or 9, who cares, right? Because I've got position, I can make it. But in straight pull, it matters. It really matters. Let's see, I don't know if I can hit the 7-ball. Well, it doesn't matter. That's what you don't want to happen. Like, I wanted to hit the 7 like this and kind of glance off this way. But I had too much inside spin on that one. Oh, man, I can't believe I messed up on the end pattern like that. Hey, that's cool for you. Here we go. Yuck, look at that. Okay, let's see here. Try to solve things as quickly as possible with backups. Go. Got some break balls out of that too, which is nice. All right. Wanted to keep that as the break ball, so I definitely wanted to make sure I had angles to where I was not going to run into that. Now, ideally, I would like this to be the key ball, but this ball is kind of leading me into these two here, unless I really want to do this so I can get position on the 10. Yeah, let's go ahead and try it. Sometimes it pays off to be ambidextrous. There we go. Now I've got options. don't do that. I'm trying to make this harder than it needs to be. Well, I should have taken a closer look at this. Not my ideal key ball, but it can work. Right, that works. Nothing wrong with that. Ugh. Oy. Those three are kind of tricky. Interesting. Look at 12. Bonus ball. So I got the 6 as a break ball, even though it's kind of low on the rack. So I'm debating on whether or not if I want to shoot the 1, bump into the 9, so I can bump it into break ball position. 15 ball ends up being my backup shot because I don't think if I bump into the 9, I don't think I'm going to roll far enough for a position on the 7. Because otherwise I have to commit to the 6 ball being the break ball, which is not a problem because I would just shoot the 14 right now and get position on something next. That worked out. Make sure the 9 ball is a break ball still. Yeah, 9 ball is a good break ball. This works. So now I'm gonna go deal with this stuff up here. Whoops. Wasn't expecting that. Oh. Trying to make sure I'm in a position where I can shoot this guy and not disturb the 9-ball. I haven't gotten it yet. Like right now, if I shoot the 7, I feel like I'm going to bump into that 9, and I don't want to do that. But I also don't want to shoot this guy just yet because I feel like that's a good key ball for me to have. Well, I'm trying to get position on the 10, but now I'm in a position where I can shoot this guy and not disturb the 9-ball. So I'm okay with that. That wasn't supposed to happen. That changes everything. That changes everything badly. Doggone it. All right. And I hit it too soft, didn't I? I did. Okay, so definitely would like to have an angle on the 3-ball so that way I can just come over here. I got to make sure I don't get flat on the 3-ball when I shoot this. Getting behind it might be okay where I can stun over. Or getting that rolling outside shot. Like if I land, I think, like right here, then I can use that rolling outside shot that Demetrius was talking about and have more control. But I don't think I can land in that spot from here. Did I get it? Maybe. That might be still a little too flat. It is. This is kind of a punch shot now. It was right here. That might have been perfect. See, that's that punch shot that I was talking about. I got it. That works. Had to hit that a little bit harder than I would have liked. But it worked. Hey, we got another 3rd rack. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ooh. Ooh, this is tough. I got a shot at the 5 ball. I'm pretty stuck after that. I'm going to instantly run into the 11. I have to hopefully push forward enough to have a shot at the 6, I guess. Because nothing else is really there. The 6 blocks these 3. Otherwise, I'm stuck with a combination of some sort. Check the rack just to make sure. I don't really see anything else that sticks out. You know what I mean? Because even though I bumped the 1 ball out, the 1 ball is blocked by the 6 as well. So it looks like I've got no choice but to play the combo. An 8-6 combination. Okay. As long as that allows us to stay alive, because now what? Trying to debate if I should shoot the 12 next. That's a very, very close shot. Bump into the 3 maybe. I wish that 13 wasn't there. Because I'd want to shoot the 12, bump into this stuff, and then maybe the 13 would be a backup shot. I mean, I have a clear shot at the 8 ball, obviously. So maybe we try to get position on the 13 and use the 12 as a backup shot to break into the cluster. Kind of like this. Right, if I can hit that 4, that might be ideal. That might open everything up if I can hit the 4. Or I did it again. But it looks like maybe I have a combination. I hit the 4 like I wanted to, but I rolled through the 4. And let me check to make sure the 3. Okay, I'm okay. The 3 ball goods. Wasn't sure if I was gonna have to shoot this combo or not, but let's shoot the 3 first, since the 3 is an automatic ball. Well, I shouldn't say automatic. I can miss this. There we go. As long as we're still in the game. I might want to use this 1 ball as a break ball. Now I still got to look at this. I don't think this goes. Like, look at that. That doesn't go. Ooh, that's rough. What does that mean for me? Doggone it. I have to shoot the 1 ball. Slowly opening stuff up. I'm not entirely sure what my break ball is going to be just yet. This is getting tricky. What do I do? All right, the 12 leads to the 11 leads to the 10, and then I'm on these three, and I got to turn one of them into a break ball. Right, because I don't think it's possible for me to bump into the 7. If I shoot the 12 and try to spin this so hard to come off the rail, bump into the 7, use this as a backup shot, that way I can still play position for these two. I don't even think that's possible. I can't even draw it. I can't even draw into the 7. So I think if I shoot this in, my cue ball's like somewhere right here. It's like, that ain't happening. That ain't happening at all. So there's not going to be a reason for me to bump into stuff here. I don't think that's what I want to do. I want to shoot the 11, get position on the 10, but then I either have to get position on the 4 or the 7. And more than likely, it probably should be the 4. Because I can't, yeah, it has to be the 4. If I shoot the 4, maybe I can bump into the 7. I think that's right. I gotta get underneath the 4. Kind of like this. Bump into the 7. I'm gonna push the 7 somewhere up here. Ooh, bump into great ball position. Okay. Ooh, okay, this is gonna get tricky. Let's see here. How do I do this? Do I play this 4 rails? 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of like what I did earlier? I think I don't have a choice. I think that's the safer shot, is to play this 4 rails. Right? Because all I don't want to do is come down this line where I'm straight in. If I'm anywhere on this side, I have a chance. So I think 4 rails is the right option here. I think. Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of like that. That worked out pretty good. Oh, holy crap. It's another 40. 40 plus. All right, so I'm clearly running into the top 2 balls on this one. What I don't want to do is get stuck. Right, so if I look, I think I'm going to glance off the 12 and then hit most of the 2. So I still got to be careful about my speed on this one. Oh, thank you, 4 ball. Because I was about to scratch on that one. Okay, so this is where it gets tricky. I have a shot at the 2. Difficult one to go into the side pocket, but you can see my cue ball's going to drive into this, and I have no clue what I'm going to do after that. Or, shoot the 10, try to get position on the 6, shoot the 6 here, and drive the cue ball this way. I still don't know what I'm going to do after that. I think the safer shot is with the 6 ball, though. That's what I'm going to try. higher percent chance. This is where I got to get lucky. So I can look and see that, what do I want to do? I'm going to hit the 3. Do I want to hit the 3 full in the face and try to just burrow my way through? Because if I catch this side of the 3, that means I'm going to hit the 8. The 8's going to hit the 9. Like, there's a lot of unpredictability. What I don't want to do is I don't want to draw into the 15, because then I'm only hitting like these 3. Like, I think I have to hit this 3 ball if I want the best results. I just don't know. The hard part is knowing whether or not if I have to like blast into this, or I certainly don't want to baby into this, because then nothing's going to happen. So picking the right speed is going to be crucial here. And I still got to make the ball, though. No. Look at that. That would have been great. That would have been great. What did I do? Did I overcut that? I must have overcut that. Oh, 45. Doggone it. All right, I'm at 198, so I can do one more attempt, and I'll be at 200. I don't know if I overcut or undercut that ball. Doggone it. And this is where you have to debate on whether or not if I should just keep my mouth shut and just play. But sometimes as a streamer, I can't help it. Like I want y'all to understand what it is I'm trying to do, and understand the thought process. Understand the method to the madness. Ooh, that was pretty. That was real pretty. Got lots of options on this one. Holy cow. Right now, I'm kind of liking the 9 ball as the break ball. That way I can play the 13 in the side, stop shot on the 2, and I've got the perfect angle, which means I'm not shooting these until later. That way I can maybe use these to get position on the 13. So I might just kind of work my way on this area here. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. Try being the operative word. Fall if you want. Don't bother me none. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Oh, that didn't react the way I wanted it to. So that might change my plan a little bit. Yeah, that changes my plan just a little bit. I'm going to use the 11 to get on the 2 now. Okay, so I'd like to get nice and flat on the 2. I don't really want to have any type of an angle. Here's the shot line. So I can try to roll into it if I can. Slow down. Oh, that didn't work. Doggone it. Oh, that was so risky. And still, like, this isn't the greatest of angles because I'm not behind. I'm not behind the 9 ball. Like I'd want to be like right here, or I'm sorry, like right here would be best. But I didn't get flat on the 2. But I still have something to work with, and that's what matters. All right. So this is where I don't know what ball I'm going to hit, but I think I have to spin 2 rails and come out towards the middle of the table just to have a chance at something. Actually, I talked about this same shot I think earlier in the stream. Kind of like that, but it still worked because I have a shot at the 2 ball. I was kind of expecting this type of break, which is rough. This is not easy. So I at least have a shot at the 2. The question is, what the heck am I going to do afterwards? It doesn't do me any good to shoot the 2, hit the rail, bump into the 4, and try to open stuff. Well, if I'm lucky, I'll bump into the 4 and I'll have a shot at the 10, as well as disturb the stack at the same time. That could be a thing, but if I glance off this 4 really badly, that means my cue ball's coming up table, and I have to hope to get a shot at the 11 if I do that. Well, I wish that 5 ball was like right here, because then maybe I could play a 4-10 combo and carom off the 5 and call the 10 in the corner. I could certainly see that as a possibility. So maybe bumping into that 4 ball is not a bad idea. I just can't bump into it too hard, and that way I can hopefully have a shot at the 10 ball. Like that. So now I gotta surgically work my way through this rack. This is tough. So now I can shoot the 10, come around for the 5 or the 12. That could be a thing. All right, so, which shot is the shot? If I shoot this 12, I'm going to hit this 14 and start glancing my way through here. don't think I want to shoot the 5. All I can do is draw back. That way I can get a thicker angle on the 12. I don't know what to do. I really don't. So if I'm fortunate, I hit the 12, I hit the 14, the 14 hits the 3 and the 7 and the 4. If the 7 goes off the 4, maybe it pushes the 15 out, and that'll be the ball that I can shoot at. Well, kind of, sort of, but what did I say? Cue ball's coming all the way up here, right? And, oh, I think the 6 ball is blocking my 11. I'm pretty sure of it. I have a difficult back cut shot on the 15 ball. Don't think I have anything else that's wired. Yeah, nothing else. It's either the 11 or the 15. And that 11 ball is really tricky with that 6 ball being there. I'm pretty sure I'll hit the 6 if I try to go for this. And if I don't hit the 6, then I end up overcutting the 11. So I think the shot has to be the 15. The problem is, I shoot the 15, okay, fine. If I glance off this 7, that might be my saving grace, because otherwise I'm going to go completely around and I'm not sure what I'm going to have next. Oh, I overcut the ball. And what did I say? I completely missed everything, but I'd have a shot at the 11. Ended up overcutting the ball. Wow. So plus 4? What is that, 18? Yeah, 18. Okay. Whew. There we go. So that's actually not bad, right? Because how many attempts did it take me to get to? Well, to be fair, what was my last score? Like 120 something when I stopped. So yeah, like I don't think this is a fair comparison, because I'd have to get to like 220 something in order to be able to say like whether or not this is good or not. But in the overall grand scheme of things, it's taken me 11 attempts to get over 200 points, 216 total. What is that? 5 times I didn't get out of the first rack, but 6 times I did get out of the first rack. So now I'm at a point where I have more non-first racks than I do first racks. I mean, look at the graph, man. The graph is the graph is ridiculous with my 51 and my 45. So that's actually pretty good though. 11 out of 22 racks completed. I'm 50% there, but 216 balls out of a possible 308 if I didn't miss one single time, averaging 19. So I'm finally above a 14 average, which is good. And anybody who's followed me long enough knows that I'm lucky if I can average over 14. So, with the stream being about almost 3 hours and 30 minutes, I think this is probably where I'm going to cut it. So this is where I get to ask everybody, what do you think? Is tonight's performance at least an indication that I've gotten a little bit better at straight pool? And clearly what that also means is the next time I play straight pool, I have to do just as good, if not better, to know that the consistency is there, because otherwise tonight is like a lucky night. You know what I mean? Like that's how I statistically look at this. But when you look at my overall, like all of my previous performances and average them all out, I would tend to think that this is better, right? Like this is a step in the right direction. It's a step in the right direction. Let's see here. Rick Hovey, you want to know my thoughts on the Revo versus the SMO? I'm shooting with the SMO. And so all I can say, I'm not the type of person, even though JFlowers is my sponsor, I'm not the type of person to say like, this is better than this, or this is better than that. Out of respect of my sponsors, clearly I would want to talk them up, right? But you have to understand that I don't get paid by JFlowers. JFlowers and I basically have a trade of service, to where like they get my platform as an advertisement, and basically things that I request of them, so long as it's a reasonable request, my request is usually acknowledged. Because as a software developer, I make a decent enough salary that I don't have to be paid by these sponsors. Now, with regards to like the ones the other sponsors where I have discount codes, yeah, I get a little bit of revenue from those, but those are just extra streams of income, provided of course that sales actually occur, like with the Onboard Sportswear, Outsville, the ICA Training system, things of those sorts. So to answer your question, because I know I'm kind of going on and on, if you go back and look at my live stream where I celebrated having 100,000 subscribers, where you can see my YouTube plaque right there, I actually do a live demonstration of the SMO against the Revo, because I have a 12.4 Revo on my Icon 4.5, and the Icon 4.5 has a Taom Fusion tip on it. So this SMO shaft that I have here, that's a 12.5, also has a Taom Fusion tip on it. So the comparison between the two is as equal as it can be, with the exception of a 1/10 of a millimeter in diameter size. And what I can tell you is this: between the two, I was able to produce very similar results, because the claim is that the SMO shaft has a 4 millimeter less deflection than the Revo, and that is proven by another video that has circled the internet. The problem is I can't demonstrate a 4 millimeter difference, because I just don't have the tools to do so. It would take some
Congrats.
A lot of elaborations. Oh, holy crap! Trent Nivens, thank you so much for the $19 Canadian super chat. I wonder what that what that translates to. I really do appreciate that, man. So even though what I basically did is I shot a straight-in shot with one tip of side spin, and showed that if there is a deflection, which there clearly should be, it was so small that I was still able to make the shot, because typically you would think that if you don't compensate for the deflection, then the cue ball you will miss a straight-in shot, because the cue ball will deflect far enough off course, hit the object ball in the wrong spot, and the object ball won't go in. But if you go back and check out the live stream that I'm talking about, and it's timestamped too, so you don't have to like randomly search around. It's specifically timestamped of when I demonstrated the SMO shaft versus the Revo. I was able to show both the SMO and the Revo that I was able to shoot with one tip of side spin, make the ball, and you can still see the measles on the cue ball spinning sideways as the cue ball goes forward. And there were two shots that I did for both shafts where I was able to shoot the ball in and scratch, have the cue ball follow the object ball in and scratch while it's spinning sideways. So that's my way of proving the similar results, considering that I can't demonstrate a 4 millimeter difference. But what I can demonstrate that is factual is that if you were to buy the SMO shaft by itself, because JFlowers does sell the SMO shaft by itself now, it's $100 cheaper than the Revo. So if price point is your deciding factor, should be clear and obvious who the winner is, right? But at the same time, I always like to say, when it comes to equipment, it's just personal preference. I mean, it really is. Now, that's not to say that, if I were to take, like over in my corner here, I have two cues that I have off of Amazon that I basically use as house cues, right? So can I perform with those cues as well as I do anything else? Probably not. Like, wooden shaft, the deflection's going to be much bigger. I don't know what the rest of the materials are made out of, and the tip is just a La Pro tip. All right, so there is some value into the value of the cue, and I don't necessarily mean the monetary value of the cue, but the value of the cue in regards to the materials that is used has a small factor in the performance of the player. The player still has the majority of the performance, way over the majority. And the equipment does kind of help out. That's kind of like saying how, like with golf clubs, right? If you have a particular driver that you're used to and you swing and swing and swing, you're able to drive the ball, 200 yards, or whatever. And then there's this new golf club that's a little bit more expensive, that's built differently, that allows you to aerodynamically swing it a little bit faster and gain an extra 10 yards. Like, we're talking like differences like that, to where the materials, I think, do actually make a difference. So if you want to know more about the SMO shaft, I would highly suggest just go and check out that live stream. Click on the timestamp or where the demonstration is, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So long-winded answer, but I hope that answers your question. Chip, you like the beard? I am going to get it cleaned up though, because I'm trying to get my beard to grow down, but it grows sideways. All right, so I'm going to get this cleaned up a little bit here, to where this is going to be a little bit more flatter to my skin, while this still comes down. And I kind of want to round it off to where I get the ducktail. I think that's what it's called, where the beard kind of comes down to a point. I am going to get this cleaned up here, actually, right before I go to London. Hey, what's going on, Bob? You've still been watching? I really appreciate that. Now that I've gotten a 14 plus BPI, if I can get a 20 plus BPI, yeah, that would be awesome. I think it's so interesting to know whether or not, like, if I could have gotten a good fifth rack, maybe, because a fifth rack would have been a 50, 42, a 56 plus kind of thing. But whether or not, if I can actually get like, a 70 or an 80 live, there seems to be a pressuring difference between recording myself and playing live. And I think the deciding factor of what I'm talking about is when I'm recording myself doing my high run attempts, I'm obviously not talking unless I call a shot. All right, that would be the ultimate difference there is me not calling my shots. So, at some point in time, like I said, in my live streams, if I were to actually just keep my mouth shut and just play, then maybe I can do better than what I'm doing right now. But we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. Let's turn this off. Okay, let's see here. I think that's pretty much going to wrap things up. I don't really see any additional questions. I want to thank everybody for being here. Let me see and make sure that everything's still working the way it's supposed to be. It looks like it is. So it looks like I've lost my Facebook audience, which is okay. I don't have as big of a following on Facebook as I do on YouTube, but that's why I stream to Facebook now, because I'm trying to even everything out. No, it's only a matter of time for that. Ooh, this is a good question. Is the end goal to play in any big straight pool tournaments? I mean, it's possible. I mean, like, I currently don't foresee myself playing in the American 14.1 that Shortstop on Pool plays in. I just don't have that budgeted into my career right now. Like the biggest tournament that I typically play in is 9-ball is the Texas Open. That happens every year near Labor Day weekend, like in the September timeframe. That's the biggest professional event that I typically try to play in, because it's in my backyard, right? It's only like a 45-minute drive from where I live, versus like flying to another state or driving to another state, paying for hotels and stuff like that. That's currently not really in my forte. that I would prefer to do. Versus, you know, any big tournaments or open level tournaments that are here in the Central Texas area. I do try to play in as much as I can, but like I said, it's sometimes just a little difficult to do that, as well as maintaining a 9-to-5 job on top of maintaining a YouTube channel. But I don't want to ever say never, right? It's certainly possible that if one comes about, that I might go ahead and give it a try. So we'll just have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see. Rick, this is actually a really good question. Would I recommend playing in tournaments? So I'm assuming you're asking that in the gist of improving yourself. And so this is how I like to explain it to people as far as improving yourself. Because you can clearly just improve by just practicing in your garage and or practicing at home and not doing anything. But then there's levels of pressure, right? Because there's no pressure on yourself when you're playing at home. So when it comes to like me, when I play for my APA leagues and the new players that I recruit on my teams, I let them know all the time. The first time they end up playing for me, especially if they're brand new to pool, like they're trying to learn how to play pool, they're super, super nervous. Playing on an APA team for me for a couple of reasons. One, because it's competition, and then two, they're playing for me, right? So that's nerve-wracking. They don't want to let me down or anything, or let alone they don't want to let their team down. So it's very pressuring to play under that type of condition, just like how pressuring it is to play live with viewers in the background watching me, or the whole world. It's very pressuring. But the thing is that when you play under that type of pressure, the more you play under that type of pressure, the less pressuring it gets. So you start to become a little bit more comfortable. So for my league players, that's what I advise them. Like the first session that they play for me, they're super nervous. But then after they get through the next session, they're not as nervous. But if we make it to playoffs, or we make it to regionals, or we make it to Vegas, each one of those step ups in competition adds more pressure back onto them that they're not used to having. But once they conquer those pressures, then it allows them to be a little bit more relaxed. They're playing less nervous, which means they actually start getting a little bit better. So once they're done with all of that, then there is tournaments. The point of your question, playing at a tournament, because now the pressure's all on you to do well. So do I recommend playing in tournaments? Absolutely, because that allows you to play in competition. That allows you to feel that pressure. And the more you do it, the more you feel that pressure, and the more you play under that pressure, the less nervous you get, and you'll see the better that you start to become. And then I'll also suggest from time to time gambling, because that's another form of pressure, right? There's these multiple forms of pressure. Playing in a league on a team is pressuring. Playing in a tournament is pressuring. Gambling is pressuring. And then live streaming is pressuring. There's all these different forms of pressure that you can actually perform under. And if you can put yourself in those types of situations and play under to see what you're capable of doing, then you can actually see how much better you can actually get. That would at least be my recommendations. But making sure, going back to the whole gambling thing, clearly gamble with what you can afford to lose. I'm not talking about breaking your wallet. If you've got some buddies or whatever that you want to play, like, $1 a game, race to 5 for $10, something that will put pressure on you and not break your wallet at the same time. The whole point is just to feel that pressure under competition. And there's many different forms of feeling that pressure under competition that you should put yourself under in order to help improve your game. I hope that helps. Let's see here. I do have to highlight a buddy of mine here. Try Hard Dupree. How's it going, man? Yes, it's glad that I'm live again. I'm hoping going to do this at least one more time before I go to London. I might try to sneak in like an APA review match. I got a couple more matches that I can still review for the session. Peter Honstein, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. But if nobody's familiar with Dupree on his YouTube channel and on Facebook, I think on Facebook it's Tryhard Dupree. Be sure to give him a follow. I got to meet him when I was in the Dallas-Fort Worth area with Corner 4 Billiards, and we got to put on a clinic for the junior players. That was a lot of fun, and I do plan on going back there again, probably next calendar year, to work with some more juniors. That was a lot of fun. So hopefully next time I'm down there, Dupree, we can meet up again. Should be fun. Let's see here. This is probably going to be my last question that I'll take. My Spocker. I think I spelled that or pronounced that correctly. When will we see me in the Mosconi Cup? I mean, I'm going to be at the Mosconi Cup. I don't know if I'll ever be in the Mosconi Cup. I am 42 years old, about to be 43. I'm only a 638 Fargo last time I checked. I only play as a hobby. I've never strived to be a professional pool player once I became a professional software developer. So I would, as negative as this might sound, I would probably have to say I will never get to perform in the Mosconi Cup, but it's not really something that I strive to do. What I strive to do is just to be the best that I can possibly be, and then of course help everybody else be the best that they can possibly be. Am I the best instructor, best coach out there? Absolutely not. All right. I'm just an amateur that's been playing for like 25 plus years, that I know what I know. And I'm able to teach what I know rather well. At least that's what everybody has told me. And a lot of people have been able to learn the things that I've taught and that have helped them become a better pool player. That's what I enjoy doing. And I'm okay with that. Now, do I want to become a 700 Fargo rated player? Yeah, I think that's a pretty good goal that I can probably achieve in my lifetime. And I think I would be okay with that after the fact. If I actually became a 700 Fargo rated player, then I might consider traveling a little bit more to like other tournaments, like traveling out of state and paying for plane tickets or hotels, or driving and paying for hotels. Like those are at least possibilities that I can see happening in my lifetime. But actually playing in the Mosconi Cup, I just don't actually see that happening. How old did you think I was, Dupree, if you thought you were older than me? I'm gonna take that as a severe compliment if you thought you were older than me. Because I am. I'm gonna be 43 in December. So when I get back actually from the Mosconi Cup, it'll be my birthday. And I'm actually gonna I'll more than likely do some sort of birthday stream. Last year when I got back from the Mosconi Cup in Vegas, I was really sick. I got the flu, so I didn't really get to do my birthday stream last year, because every year on my birthday, what I try to do is, one, I will do push-ups. I will do the number of push-ups equal to my age. So last year I was supposed to do 42 push-ups, but I didn't do it because I was sick. So this year I'm going to try to do it. I've been trying to train a little bit to where I can try to do 43 push-ups in one set. That's the goal. And then on top of that, I'll attempt to do that live. And then on top of that, I'll try to run 43 balls in straight pool, because that's Dr. Dave's straight pool challenge that he likes to do, where he says try to run your age in straight pool. Let's see here. I saw a statement that he wanted to. It says, you've got the biggest junior tournament in North America. I can send to you. You can go to help with the junior. I guess where would that be? It would depend on where that would be. That would be the only thing. So because as far as helping juniors out so far, the only thing that I've put into my schedule, Ashton, is to go up to the Dallas-Fort Worth area and help Corner 4 Billiards, Bryant from Corner 4 Billiards, help with his junior clinics that he puts on. Oh, Nebraska, huh? Yeah, see, that's a little outside of my territory, bud. Like, I don't know if I'll never say never. Like, it's a possibility that, if if the timing is right and I have enough free time, it's certainly something that I can obviously consider doing. So yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Eves, you want me to try to do 42 and then 43? That would be difficult, right? Like if I were to attempt to do 42 push-ups, which I'm pretty sure I can do, I don't know how long I would have to rest, like during the live stream, in order to attempt 43. If I did that, what I could probably do is I could probably do 42 or 43 in one set, but then the next one, I would have to break it apart. Like I would have to do like a set of 20 and then a set of 20 and a set of 3 or something like that. That I could possibly do, but I don't think I would be able to do 42 push-ups, take a significant break, and then do 43. I don't think I'm in enough shape for that. But at any rate, I really appreciate all the questions. I really appreciate all the back and forth, and I really appreciate everybody that's been here watching me. I'm actually very pleased with myself. I want to stress, matter of fact, I'm going to do this. I'm going to find this video. I highly suggest everybody bookmark, share, save, whatever. I highly suggest that y'all watch this video. I clipped this out from my live stream where Demetrius talks about the competitor cycle. I'm going to pin it at least in YouTube. I don't think I can, let me see if I can pin it on Facebook. There, and it's pinned on Facebook. I can only highly suggest that y'all watch that from time to time, because after Demetrius was here, when he gave me that competitor cycle speech offline, but like before he did it on the live stream, it has totally changed my mental state on how I look at myself and how I look at my performance in the game. It has allowed me to play with less stress, less expectations, and which allows me to enjoy playing more, even if I'm not performing well. Because I'll just say not well, right? I'm not going to say performing to my expectations anymore, because I can clearly acknowledge that this is a tough game. I mean, if we go back and look at my scores here, a 4, 11, and a 7, right? This is a tough game. I've now been able to accept that a whole lot better, and I think in the long run, it's only going to get better for me from here. And all I'm saying is that if that speech had that kind of an effect on me, I would hope that it can have a very similar effect on y'all, and really, really change the way you can look at yourself, at the way you play this game, and at the way that you progress and the way that you get better. Because it really allows you to hopefully focus on the process of getting better and not look forward to the results of getting better. Always look forward to the progress, just like how I definitely look forward to the progress that I just made tonight. So I can only hope that the next time I do a straight pool live stream of some sort, I can do just as well, if not better. What we'll have to test is whether or not if I can just keep my mouth shut and just play, and see if I can just perform better if I just play for y'all rather than try to commentate for y'all at the same time. So I highly recommend that y'all watch the competitor cycle video. You can clearly go watch the live stream of it as well. It's all timestamped there as well. But save the video, share the video, watch it over and over again, because I still watch it. I watch it multiple times to remind myself how to keep my cool when I'm playing. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and call it for the night. I want to thank everybody for being here. If you haven't done so already on the way out, please give the stream a thumbs up on Facebook or YouTube. It does not matter. If you're at least watching on Facebook, consider sharing it to your Facebook profile so your friends and family can get to know me and perhaps gain an interest in pool. And then, of course, maybe share it to your favorite pool groups as well. And of course, liking the stream on YouTube helps me out in the YouTube algorithm so that more people will be able to discover this stream after I log off. So until next time, everybody, take care and have a good night.